It was a cold, moonless night when Sarah moved into the old farmhouse on the outskirts of town. The house had been vacant for years, its once beautiful windows now dusty and cracked. Local legends whispered of a haunting, but Sarah, an ambitious young woman, was determined to make it her home. On the first night, she felt an unsettling chill, though the fireplace burned warmly. She shrugged it off, blaming the age of the house, but as she tried to sleep, she heard soft footsteps, slow and deliberate, coming from the attic above her. She froze, straining her ears. The sound stopped. Thinking it was just the house settling, she forced herself to sleep. The next day, she went up to the attic, which was dimly lit and filled with old furniture. There, tucked in a corner, was an old, dusty mirror. It was framed in ornate wood, its glass clouded with age. She wiped it down with her sleeve, and as she did, she saw something behind her, a figure, pale and translucent, standing in the shadowy corner of the attic. Sarah spun around, but there was nothing there. That night, the footsteps returned, louder and closer than before. She couldn't ignore them. Trembling, she grabbed a flashlight and went up to the attic. The mirror was still there, but this time it was different. It was cracked, with a dark stain running down the center. As she stared at it, the figure appeared again, but this time it moved. Slowly, it reached out of the glass, its pale hand emerging into the real world. Sarah backed away, but her foot hit something and she fell backward. Her flashlight skittered across the floor, casting erratic beams of light. When the beam landed on the mirror, the figure had fully emerged, now standing before her, eyes hollow, its mouth open in a silent scream. Sarah scrambled to her feet and ran, but the door slammed shut behind her. She couldn't escape. The last thing she saw was the figure reaching for her, its cold fingers grazing her skin. Then, everything went black. The next morning, the house was silent. Sarah's belongings were still there, untouched, but when the neighbors came to check on her, they found the attic door wide open. The mirror, though, was gone,